What's going on, YouTube? Time for another recap. I know it's a little few and far between with the cancer treatments, but let's get her done. So today we traded a little NQ, little ES. I want to go over a little bit of the volume profiles that we had seen here on the futures and how we traded these today, which were a really good pre-market short, and we didn't quite follow through to the lasting bigger targets that I had this morning, but that's totally okay. So let's go over a couple things that we had seen here. Look at the 5-minute chart on NQ. You're going to notice a little bit of a white channel here. This white channel, all it is yesterday's highest zone traded, right? So the POC for me is this bright red. Then, of course, the volume profile is these very large zones here of highly traded volume. When they go low like this is just market order destruction. And these are huge limit block orders as the waves are much taller and utilize a ton of actual trade volume. So when we look at yesterday, 16,952, just about, we have a POC there, the big red box. Now, prior day POCs are something we've been using for just like the walk up every single time we get dips into it. If you look at the last couple days prior, all you got to do is look at the hold of the prior POC and go long. That's it, because we were grinding two all-time highs as a nice magnet, because too many dumb money shorts are at the tippy top thinking that the market's going to go. And you see in the 90% of YouTubers, the world is always ending. The world's always pullback. No, it's always dip buy. All-time highs coming. So right here, POC, we can see 2 days back, price action came. Defended, and a big run at the opening morning and afternoon, moving into the next day, and then today's trade day as well. This was the POC of yesterday. I marked that out with a channel. Then you can kind of see what happened here. Well, not kind of, we can get her all in here. You can see the defense that happened at this zone, right? And this is something we covered live, which we always do. So it finally squeezed over yesterday's POC right here on that white, snapped in, came back down, back tested, pushed into a new zone, and defended. And I was looking for the 100 EMA, which is the green line right here, short scalp into maybe a faster paced scalp and pre, then back to long if everything made it to a 4,800 support on ES. Then we said it was probably going to go up to about 17K today. That would be the next magnet, right? We usually use half and whole dollar targets like 4,800 on the ES, 17,000 on the NQ. Now, this zone was defended from yesterday's point of control, and that point of control is just such a monstrous amount of support that it defended it so well that we called some very big squeezes out of it, especially this big one right here. Pre-market was going to measure up, so we were looking for a pre-market big push here off of that level, or sorry, off the live open, I should say, back to the pre-market level and live high. Now we had some really big confusion candles kind of in between there, but let's see what else matched up with this NQ. Now, as far as the predictions go, I was looking for something a little better than what we got here this morning. So if we go to the old tweet feed here, I was looking for some zones to hit this morning, and we shied them by just a little bit. We called some green zone tags here for pullbacks. I was shorting the top of these volume point rollovers right here on Twitter. We were posting here, and we were looking to come back down to the green zones, bounce, go back to long, because they did have a little bit of the gap action there from after hours and pre-open. Now, we'll come back and revisit those gaps, but as we see, they didn't really end up hitting. It actually came back down. And we said our 100 EMA 5-minute is our short scalp zone. So we wanted to short down to, and I gave some little bit of a POC from yesterday, a little breakdown here on Twitter. And we said, as long as we break through, and this is that white channel we were talking about right here on the NQ, snap, we were just looking for this little bit of a red zone. And you can see right here, super high volume profile on the 5-minute. Again, here on the SPY, super high volume profile. So we're shorting pre-market, looking for the roll into the 100 EMA right here, which is the green line, right? So posted that all on Twitter. That was our first one. We missed the big channel because it had to obviously flow through the 100 EMA as we expressed on Twitter in order for that to be going good. Now, this is what that looked like here at the open. So right at the end of pre-market, we ended up getting our target and closed out. We actually kind of read through here, and then it slammed down, got target, and then just took off. So we got a really lucky short fill there for the 100 EMA magnet. Now, if you're looking at ES, much better play out today, but same exact thing. Short called all the way down to center view app and 100 EMA. So boom, lower high, 100 EMA, center view app, right? So we did have a really good monster good trade. Now we swapped back long after a 4,800 squeeze, and anything above 4,800, pretty obvious, you got to go up. But what did that pertain to, right? How would that work out? So let's grab SPY here and look, we usually use on the SPY and Qs, I like to use like a 15-minute POC. So right at open, pre-market in the gray, live in the black, we were coming down into some monster support. Let's look at yesterday's POC. It's red right here, right? And look where that opened up. Huge defense zone, right? So short pre-market into the 5-minute, and you don't see that right here, 100 EMA. That was that goal, because that's usually a very big trend setter for me as I trade momentum scalping, right? So look at the 5-minute real quick here one more time. There's your 100 EMA and VWAP low anchor, -2. Let's go back to the 15. So POC was also a huge zone. And this is what I want to really touch on one more time here for the recap video. We did this pre-market short as it just needed a back test of this prior POC. So this prior POC, yesterday's POC, 15-minute, had a startling consolidation, break over the pre, but a live tag of support. These live tag supports, they end up being magnets, right? And obviously the psychological number of 17K on NQ and 4,800 on ES was going to come up to one of the biggest, side charted here, one of the biggest points of interest here that we had moving up for a psychological number. Oh, let's move back to TOS. So we don't have that data on the trading view. We don't use that. So the further trade day for that squeeze was a long bias. And all we actually did is we went down to the 5-minute chart and we just used continuation resets on all of the MAC indicators. So the MAC had a very good one right here. This is that open, did the cross, and then every little reset dip buy that we had, the RSI just kind of kept going hot, kept going hot, kept going hot, and over and over and over. But until these MAC crosses always until they cross, they never really play out super according. Like when something is on trend and something is moving up and you pair volume profile, support, resistance, and POCs with the MAC momentum of the averages, the moving lines, that's one of the bigger divergence indicators that are going to help you here. So this whole time from 10:30 a.m. Central was this big uptrend. And I seen a lot of people, posting some shorts into this and, we're just getting into this. And I'm like, once this breaks over 4,800, it's going to have a psychological drag on NQ because we did not hit that 17K in NQ yet, back at NQ. And then we could probably fall back for a little bit, maybe back towards, 4,800 through the afternoon, and then get back into some real data Wednesday, Thursday, because we don't have any drivers besides 2 Fed speaks in the psychological world to really move this up in some kind of predominantly fast squeeze manner, unless it's some really big volume profile opens, which we had seen, and the volatility at open is always the best. Now, the further for ES now, for the POC and what you want to do, well, the prior high was hit, we grinded back up, and the MAC showed you a beautiful short back in. So the divergence was finally cut right here at 10:30. 10:30 is Euro close Central for me too. So a lot of the times we watch trend swap. So from the open, 8:30 a.m. Central for me, and that 2 hours till 10:30, when the trend is set, it usually sticks until 10:30. Those algos will come back off in the EU close. So when you've seen this little false push back up, you had already seen the RSI dipping to a lower low, lower high, and the MAC histogram wave was telling you, hey, it's coming. Don't short quite yet, but it's coming. And it finally crossed here into that 10:30. That's when you have a reputable risk to reward short. So that would have been a very nice rollover scalp here if we traded through the afternoon, where you're risking hard open closes, which is a full candle developed over the prior high. And a full candle developed means it literally opens and closes above that prior high. Okay. And we really need that candle to manifest itself up there before ever stopping out. Just because something wicks up a little bit here into a zone, or even makes a half-ass candle like this and makes a couple and then pushes back up, that's all just psychological BS. They try to snap you out of your position, stop you out at those highs over and over again, and they fool you. It's all about the bamboozle. But the indicator's oscillation here, sellers in control here. We know it's topping out, volume area high, double top, 1, 2. Orange line is volume area high if you forgot. And then the breakdown here of the RSI, pushing lower highs. And then of course the MAC cross, finally off a low histogram wave on the green. So we actually had a ton of indicators showing you that, hey, we have a reputable risk management short where we could take some shorts into these zones, right? And then risk those hard open closes. But what would your target be? Well, target one for me, back down to POC, high volume usage right here. It's about 48.10, looks like, some change. Target one, and then that'll come back in, hit, and if it has it creates a lower high to continue, you're going to look back to center VWAP. So you're short up here, you're 80% out of your position at target one. The rest of the 10 and 10%, if you want to let run, is on that bottom. Now, right now, I would say, well, the MAC is getting close to the center line coming in support. RSI is kind of chop at the 50 line, and we did hold a really big daily support reputable. Now back over the POC. Does that mean we're going to just shoot back up easy? No, not really. But, you know, it does give you the opportunity to get out and save some of those profits. So a little bit of how we navigated the trade today, a lot of the over-unders today, 100 EMA and volume profile prior days, something you guys should always be watching and using. So please tune in for the next one, and we'll keep teaching.